After 75, 99% of deaths are caused by these 5 things. Here's how to avoid them. Have you ever looked at someone you love, maybe a parent, a grandparent, or even an old friend, and thought, they seem fine, just a little tired, maybe a bit forgetful? We all do it. Life gets busy. And besides, isn't that just what aging looks like? But what if those little changes, the skipped meals, the forgotten birthdays, the way they hold the wall when walking, aren't just aging? What if they're whispers from the body, saying something's wrong? Because here's what most people don't know. After age 75, 99% of deaths come from just 5 causes. Not 10. Not 20. Just 5. And the scariest part? Most of us don't recognize the signs until it's too late. But that changes today. This video isn't about fear, it's about love. It's about protecting the people you care about, and maybe even yourself, before it's too late. Stick with me, because I'm going to show you what these 5 hidden killers really look like, how to spot them early, and what you can do right now to fight back. Let's get started. 1. The quiet breakdown, heart disease after 75. Let me introduce you to Henry. 78 years old. The kind of guy who was up with the sun. Every morning, you'd see him walking the block, waving to neighbors, ball cap on, full of life. Then one day, he wasn't there. Days passed. When someone finally asked, he said, "Just a little tired lately. Nothing serious." 6 months later, Henry was in the hospital. His heart had been quietly struggling all along. No big warning. No heart attack in the middle of the night. Just a slow, steady fade. His morning walks? That was the first thing his body gave up. Long before he knew something was wrong. This is what cardiovascular disease looks like after 75. It doesn't always scream, it whispers. Behind phrases like, "I'm just getting older," or "I don't have the energy I used to." But behind the scenes, arteries stiffen, the heart strains, blood pressure rises, and cholesterol builds up, silently. That sudden tiredness? The breathlessness after just a few steps? The dull ache in the chest you brush off as indigestion? These aren't just signs of aging. They're the heart's way of asking for help. And the biggest mistake families make? Ignoring these signs. We tell ourselves, "He's just slowing down." Or, "She's having an off day." But at this age, those off days might be the only warning you get. What can you do? Start with regular checkups. Know your numbers: blood pressure, cholesterol, heart rate. Don't wait for a crisis. Support heart health daily. Oats for fiber. Berries for antioxidants. Leafy greens for circulation. A 20-minute walk can make a bigger difference than you think. If you love someone over 75, check in. Ask how they're really feeling. If they've stopped doing the things they once loved, walking, gardening, chatting, it might not be just age. It might be the heart, waving a white flag. Underscore, 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 underscore. 2. The mind in disguise, Alzheimer's and dementia. Now let's talk about something even more subtle, something that doesn't just steal years, but identity. Meet Martha. 80 years old. Always smiling. Famous for her apple pie. Never missed her grandson's birthday. Until one day, she forgot his name. At first, her family laughed it off, "Grandma's just being forgetful." But soon the joke stopped. She'd lost more than her memory, she was losing herself. By the time they got a diagnosis, Alzheimer's, it was too late to slow it down. Her family hadn't ignored her. They just didn't know the signs. Most people don't. After 75, your risk of Alzheimer's and other dementias doubles every 5 years. And it's not just about forgetting names. It's about the brain losing its ability to think, feel, even move. Inside the brain, harmful proteins start clumping, forming plaques and tangles. They choke off communication between brain cells, bit by bit. And Alzheimer's isn't alone. Parkinson's starts quietly too, not just with tremors, but with stiffness, a slow shuffle, a hesitation that turns into a fall. And yet, people shrug it off. Just a senior moment, they say. But it's so much more. The first signs? They're often emotional. A joyful person becomes withdrawn. Someone careful with money starts acting reckless. Others repeat the same story again and again, not realizing they already told it. These aren't quirks. They're signals. And they matter. The good news? We may not have a cure, but we do have powerful tools, especially if we act early. Keep the brain active: puzzles, conversation, books, games, learning new things. Eat for brain health, think Mediterranean, fruits, veggies, fish, olive oil, nuts. Prioritize sleep. Deep, restful sleep clears harmful proteins, like a nighttime rinse for the brain. The earlier you act, the more of your loved one you can keep. Because with dementia, time isn't just precious, it's the difference between managing the illness and being overwhelmed by it. Just quiet now. But more often than not, they don't want to be alone. They just don't know how to ask not to be. After 75, friendships thin out. Families get busy. Mobility and hearing challenges make socializing harder. But the need for connection, that never fades. In fact, it becomes more critical than ever. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a signal. A red flag that something vital is missing: human connection. And the truth is, reversing it doesn't require grand gestures. It's the little things: regular phone calls, a weekly lunch date, a neighbor dropping by with a warm meal. Encourage loved ones to stay involved, even in small ways. Help them join a community group, sign up for a senior class, or volunteer for something meaningful. Technology, too, can be a lifeline. Teach them to use video calls or voice assistants to stay in touch. And if you're the one feeling the loneliness, know this: you're not alone. Your presence still matters. Your stories still matter. You still matter. So, let's recap the 5 most common and silent causes of death after 75. 1. Heart disease, quiet, often masked by fatigue or breathlessness. 2. Neurodegenerative disease, memory changes, emotional shifts, and cognitive decline. 3. Falls, the result of weakened balance, poor environments, and overlooked medications. 4. Infections, from a cough to pneumonia in days, with less immune power to fight back. 5. Loneliness, the invisible illness, weakening the will to eat, move, and even hope. But here's the most important part: these aren't just causes of death, they're opportunities. Opportunities to notice, to act, to reconnect, to protect. Because aging shouldn't be a slow fade into silence and frailty. It should be a season of dignity, meaning, and care. And that starts with awareness, with seeing the subtle signs, and responding with love instead of dismissal. So if you're watching this, and someone you love came to mind, don't wait. Reach out. Ask the deeper questions. Make the appointment. Share the meal. Hold the hand. Because sometimes, the smallest action can change the entire ending of someone's story. And if you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. Share your experiences. What have you noticed in your aging loved ones? And don't forget to subscribe to Lifestyle Tips for Healthy Aging, where every week we share compassionate, research-backed insights to help you and your loved ones live longer, healthier, more connected lives. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and never stop caring. Tired? Let them rest. But the truth is, humans don't outgrow connection. We don't age out of needing love, conversation, purpose. So, what can you do? Sometimes the smallest acts make the biggest difference. Pick up the phone. Check in, even for 5 minutes. Set up a weekly video call. Help your loved one find a community center, a book club, a church group, even a walking buddy. Encourage intergenerational moments, grandkids, neighbors, friends. Even something as simple as a shared meal once a week can bring light back into someone's life. And if you're the one feeling alone, reach out. There's no shame in asking for company. You are not a burden. You're a human being, worthy of connection, of care. Soft piano _. It's hard, isn't it? Watching someone you love slow down. Lose interest. Forget names. Struggle to breathe. And sometimes, watching yourself feel a little more tired than usual. A little more distant. A little less like yourself. It's painful, not because you're weak, but because you care. Because deep down, you remember who they were, or who you were. Full of life, purpose, energy. But here's the truth that hurts. Ignoring these signs doesn't protect us. It only speeds up the decline. That silence after a fall. That subtle forgetfulness. That brush off of a cough. That loneliness no one talks about. They're not small things. They're signals. The body's quiet way of asking for help. And yet, here's the part you need to hold on to. You are not powerless. Whether you're watching this for yourself, your partner, your parent, or a friend. Knowing the risks is the first step toward prevention. This isn't just about adding years to life. It's about adding life to those years. Joy. Dignity. Peace of mind. Being able to walk to the mailbox without fear. Remember your grandson's laugh. Wake up excited for something. Even if it's just a warm cup of tea on the porch. You have the power to change the story, starting today. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Ask your doctor about that lingering fatigue. Go for that gentle walk. Start that puzzle. Try one new recipe this week, just one, with something heart-healthy in it. You don't need to overhaul everything. You just need to begin. Because aging isn't the end. It's the next chapter. And with love, with attention, with the right knowledge, these final chapters can be the most meaningful, most beautiful, most connected yet. And that's something worth fighting for. Underscore 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 underscore. Let's take a moment to gently go back over what we've uncovered today. Because this knowledge, it could save a life. The 5 major causes behind nearly 99% of deaths after age 75. 1. Cardiovascular disease, the silent stress on the heart that too often goes unnoticed. 2. Neurodegenerative diseases, like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, quiet thieves of memory and independence. 3. Falls and mobility decline, a simple slip that can change everything. 4. Respiratory infections, illnesses like pneumonia that spiral fast. 5. Social isolation and depression, an invisible weight on the soul that pulls the body down too. These aren't just facts. They're real stories. Real lives. Real people. Maybe even you. Or someone you love. They may seem silent, but they're not invisible. You know what to look for now. You know how to respond. And I'd love to know, which of these 5 surprised you the most? Have you seen one of them unfold in a parent? A friend? Maybe even in your own life? Take a moment and share in the comments. I read every single one. And your experience, your voice, might help someone else feel seen, understood, or inspired to act. And if this video helped you see aging in a new light, if it gave you something to think about, something to feel, something to do, give it a like. And please, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Every day, we're here, sharing simple, life-saving tips, emotional insight, and heartfelt guidance for seniors, and the people who love them most. Because aging doesn't come with a manual, but together, we can make the journey a little easier, a little brighter, and a lot more meaningful. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. Take care of your heart. Keep your mind active. Stay steady on your feet. Watch out for those quiet illnesses. And never underestimate the healing power of human connection. You're not alone. You're part of a wise and caring community. Stay strong. Stay informed. And I'll see you in the next video.